Welcome to another edition of Local Focus with Sebastian Noel. I am your host. Basketball season, we're right in the midst of it, and the Santa Fe High Demons off to a very good start on the season. No surprise because of the guy sitting to my right, Lukas Turner. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sebastian.
I knew I had to get you in this season because I don't even remember where I was or who I was talking to, but it was around some ABC guys, and everyone's telling me, yeah, man, the only guy that's even close to being able to guard Jalen Holland during the summer is Lukas Turner. That's a pretty good
Yeah, I mean, we went at it
compliment.
at practices, like for ABC. Yeah, we're always just competing with each other, I would say.
So yeah, I mean, talk about that, man. You're that's got to be pretty fun, right? Playing with the best.
Yeah, at like those ABC practices, we're always just competing 5-on-5 against each other. So it's fun. It's really fun.
Obviously, you play on that spotlight team, right? So that's a nice mix-up of some of the more talented dudes in the state.
Yeah.
How does that help you develop your game?
It helps me develop my game by not looking to score all the time and like waiting for other guys to feed me the ball, like for open threes and stuff. It makes me think more think better for the game, like other than just scoring and stuff, like getting a wide open spot so they could hit me and stuff.
Also, what does it do for your confidence knowing like I can play with all these dudes, these dudes that are in Albuquerque that are all hot shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm hanging with all these guys. What does that do for your confidence?
It grows my confidence a lot. So like when we come up here and play against these Albuquerque guys, like my confidence is very high. So I go in the game with a lot of confidence.
And obviously, you've been putting in some work in the weight room too. Because I remember when I saw you play a couple of years ago versus now, you definitely have bulked up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So talk about that.
So we got a new weight training coach this year with like all the new coaching staff, and he's helped us a lot. He was trying to put us like on meal plans and just lifting 3 times harder like a week. So it helped a lot. And like I was lifting outside sometimes outside of like Santa Fe High.
Right.
It helped a lot.
So how much muscle have you put on from freshman year to now?
I've probably put on like around like probably 15, 20 pounds from freshman year.
All right. You talked about the coaching change a little bit. How difficult was that? I mean, it's always hard, right?
I mean, it wasn't that difficult. Like, it was at the start for a little bit, but we just had to adjust quickly because we didn't know who our coach was going to be at the start. It was going to be the guy from Hobbs, I think. I don't know. And then it was Francisco, our new coach, so we just had to adjust to it.
And obviously, the results are what they are, right? You guys have got off to a great start. So, does that little bit of extra motivation when you have a new coach? Like, hey, we want to get off to a good start.
Yeah.
Prove that we're here.
Yeah, having a new coach, like, it's helped us with, like, energy and stuff because he brings us a lot of energy and he wants to win, so it's pretty fun.
And then it's a natural human emotion to be like, we want to show the guy that left us too, right? That is 100% natural. So was there a little bit of that to start the season?
Like when we played against Cleveland, no, it was just like going to the game. It was just like another game that we just had to win.
Right.
So it was just another game. I don't think like there was a lot of emotion to it.
Right.
It was just another game that we were looking for, trying to win.
So take us through kind of the off season. I mean, where were expectations after last year? Where were expectations as a team? Where were expectations for you as an individual?
Expectations after last year's season was probably to make it to state farther this year with Coach Cole, but then all that like transition to having Cisco, but we still want to win the district championship and make it far in state. And the individual goals I want is probably maybe get district player of the year and probably play college basketball. So
right. And so picking up on those team goals first, like when do you guys start to make those? Like is it as soon as the last season's over, you guys kind of do your own thing and then come back together, or is it immediately? Some guys I talked to, they're like, no, as soon as we got eliminated from the season, we made goals for the following year. What was that like for you guys?
Yeah, no, it was actually after the last game where we made our goals with, like, the younger guys on the varsity team. We were like, yeah, we want to make it far and stay next year, so we just started working hard.
And then what about individually? I mean, when you said, obviously you have some goals there, when do you put those together for yourself?
Like when I work out individually?
Right.
It's probably like after practice, like late at night at Santa Fe when the doors are open.
Right.
So I just go late at night with one of my older friends and we just work out.
Right. And so when did you, district player of the year, that's a great goal to have, right? Is that something that you decided right at the end of last year? Is that something you decided, okay, you know what, I'm good, I'm going to do this, this is the goal? Like when did you decide that this is something you want to shoot for?
It was probably like more at the end of last year's season because that's when I was doing better and I was like, yeah, I could shoot for a goal like district player of the year both years. I was trying to get it last year, but obviously Jonah got it, so.
Right. Yeah, you got shortchanged on a couple of awards last year, I thought. That's my personal opinion. But so I think everyone this year will know your name. Trust me. You're that player for sure. How does that motivate you, though?
It just motivates me every day just to, like, work harder than everyone or try to, just be the best player I can.
And then the leadership role, right? Like this year, it's definitely your team. There's no doubt about it, right?
Yes, sir.
So how have you developed as a leader?
I mean, from, like, past guys on the team, like PJ, like, he taught me how to be, like, a pretty good leader. I just have to help, like, teach the young guys, like, how it works and stuff like that.
And what goes into that, right? Because some guys are quiet leaders on the court.
Yeah.
Others are, the more put your arm around the younger guys, tell them when they're screwing up, that kind of thing. What kind of leader are you, and what kind of leader are you trying to be this year?
I'm trying to be, like, kind of like a coach to them, just to help them out whenever they, like, need my help when they're, like, making mistakes and stuff. I'm, like, the guy that puts his arm around and just, like, tells them about their mistakes and stuff like that.
You mentioned PJ was one of those guys for you, right?
Yeah.
So can you remember some early things? Like, what are some things that PJ told you when you were young that really, really made an impression on you growing up in the program there?
It was just probably being patient for my time to come. That was probably the biggest thing that he helped me with, is just being patient, just waiting for my time to come, probably.
And, I mean, looking back on that advice now,
Yeah.
I mean, how good advice was that?
It was pretty good advice. I'm trying to give it to some of the younger guys that they just have to stay patient and it will come.
And what goes into that, right? Because I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Right? Your first year in varsity, everyone wants to lead the team in scoring right away, right?
Yeah.
And then that part about everyone playing their role and being patient, that comes later, right? So when did you kind of realize, like, okay, let things fall into place?
Probably my freshman year of varsity, when coach, like, because I didn't play a lot my freshman year. I was just getting minutes when we were up like 20. So I just knew I just had to be patient for my time to come, and it did.
All right, this year, you guys have gotten off to a real nice start. Why?
We're playing together. We have a lot of intensity and energy when we play together, and I feel like we're a very solid team, like, defensively, so I feel like that helps us a lot.
How much has changed with the coaching change? I mean, you guys had an identity under Coach Cole, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Played pretty fast, moved the ball, solid defense. How much has changed? How much has stayed the same?
Most of it stayed the same. We just added a couple new plays and stuff. That's pretty much it, but most of it stayed, like, the same.
All right, take our first break with Lucas. When we get back, we'll talk about some of their upcoming schedule and much more Santa Fe basketball when we come back.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Back with Santa Fe Demon Lukas Turner. He's my guest this week on Local Focus. We're talking about Santa Fe basketball before the break. But obviously, super athletic guy, right? So what other sports did you play when you were young?
I was playing a lot of football when I was young. Running back and quarterback, those are my two positions.
Okay. So which did you start first, football or basketball?
Football. I started playing football when I was probably like around 8, and then started playing basketball when I was in middle school.
All right, so 8, is that like... My favorite football pictures are the ones where your head is bigger than the
helmet. Yeah,
was that back then?
Yeah,
okay,
no,
you have some of
my
those?
mom has a lot of
those.
those.
You should have brought some in and we would have put them up. Those are the best football pictures, right? When your head is so much bigger than the rest of your body.
Just a tiny kid with the big
right,
head.
Right. So, obviously, if you're playing quarterback and running back, you're probably pretty good then, right?
Yeah, I was all right when we were younger. But
so, when did you decide basketball was the way?
Probably 8th grade year is when, like, the basketball season when my team went undefeated. It was like, we're really good. So I was just like, I think I'm just going to stick with basketball. And then got all those concussions for football, so I just stick to basketball.
Yeah, it's a little harder to get concussions in basketball, right? Like,
yeah.
People don't realize that's a real thing in football.
Yeah, no, those things are pretty bad, concussions.
Were your parents relieved when football was off the...
Yeah, they liked that I stopped playing football and just continued basketball.
Yeah. I mean, for those that don't know, when you get a football concussion, I mean, what is that like?
It's like you're dizzy all the time and just seeing like it's like foggy in like your eyes and stuff. That's how I felt.
And so basketball became the love then, right?
Yes, sir.
And when did you realize like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. I can do this at a really high level?
Probably my sophomore year is when I like realized I could be better than like I was. So sophomore year is like when I started like working out a lot, going like to the gym a lot, and just putting in a lot of shots.
Right. Obviously, you're growing up in Santa Fe during that J.B. White era, right? How much did young guys like you look up to J.B. and his game?
I looked up to him a lot. Me and my friends would always go watch the Santa Fe Eye and like all the rivalries, so we looked up to him a lot. He was a pretty big guy in our city, so everyone loved him.
When you go to those games as a youngster, right, and you're watching JB battle TJ on the other side, full crowds, parents are going crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about how special that is to a kid and how that makes you feel like, I want to put on one of those jerseys.
It was very special to like me and all my friends because we were like, oh, we want to be playing like these guys one day, and now it's happening. So
do you remember the first time you went into Toby Roybal as a little kid, like to watch a game?
Probably like my 7th grade year, like with the Santa Fe and Capital like rivalries. That's when I started like looking into what high school I was gonna go to.
Right.
When I would go watch those two teams play. So that's when I started.
And then tell us about that rivalry, right? It's pretty legit.
Yeah, it's pretty legit in Santa Fe, like the Santa Fe and Capital rivalry. Like it gets really intense sometimes, but.
So, and is it just a basketball thing? Does it carry into other sports? Like how? I mean, take us through that.
I mean, the rivalry with like Capital and Santa Fe is like it's not that big for football, but for basketball it's bigger. And for like with St. Mike's, we have a pretty big rivalry with them for both football and basketball. So yeah.
And then obviously, we're talking about JB a little bit, and so that documentary comes out, right? Once Upon a Time in Santa Fe, and it really kind of spotlights how huge those games were. Talk about that.
Like those big games, like the one at the Santa Fe Indian School, like that was probably one of the craziest games I've ever been to because it was just packed.
Yeah, so I got to do the PA announcing in the arena that day. I was the PA announcer, and that was one of the most fun experiences I've had. I remember I'm trying to do the PA announcing, and the crowd just keeps getting closer and closer to me, behind me, because it was so overfilled. I mean, how was that to watch?
It was one of the like best experiences like I've had like in Santa Fe. That was like the most crowded game we've ever had in Santa Fe, so it was a pretty cool experience.
So to go from that experience, what's been the memory, like let's say you graduate tomorrow, what's been the memory that you have that's been the most special for you, whether that be in that rivalry or at your home gym or what's been that signature memory for you?
Probably this year, one of my memories is probably just playing St. Mike's at St. Mike's because their gym is really small and it got very packed. So that was a pretty good experience. And then another one was probably last year when we played Capital at home. That rivalry, that was probably my favorite experience.
Now, is it true that St. Mike's is kind of like the Dallas Cowboys, where everyone hates them?
Yeah, not a lot of people like them in Santa Fe. Yeah, everyone.
Because I'm not even from Santa Fe, but I've heard that.
Yeah, they're kind of like the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, so why is St. Mike's the team that no one likes?
Honestly, it's just how it's been. Like,
it's just a thing, right?
Yeah, it's just a thing. Like, everyone's just like, yeah, we don't really like those St. Mike's kids. So that's just how it is in Santa Fe.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've always wanted to ask. So
yeah,
it's just interesting to me, right? Rivalry-wise, I don't think Santa Fe Capital gets talked about a lot in basketball.
Yeah.
But, I think that's one of the best rivalries in the state.
Yeah, no. Back then, like, when TJ and JB playing, those games were so much fun. It was just, like, the energy it had. It was like, yeah, I want to, like, be playing with these guys someday, but they all...
What is it like on campus those weeks when it's game day? Like, how much more amped up are you guys? How lit is it on game day? How are the students different on campus?
It's just like for the team, we're like more excited. Like, we're excited, we're amped up for the game, and then like for the students, like sometimes they care and sometimes they really don't, but they like it a lot. Like some of the students, that's about it.
Now, I do remember a couple of years ago, or maybe it was even last year. Maybe that rivalry got a little too serious, and the two teams had to film a video of, it's a rivalry on the court, but we're cool off the court. So that kind of leads me to a more serious question about JB. How did that affect you when that happened? Because I would imagine it affected everyone in the community, right?
Yeah, no, it affected me. I was pretty sad because I looked up to him, obviously. It was pretty sad for the whole community because we had someone that was doing something for himself and making everyone proud. So it was just a pretty sad time.
And then, so when you see, that rivalry, you're part of that rivalry on the court, in school, in a healthy way on the basketball court. But then when you see that rivalry take it to the streets with guns, that becomes very, very different, right?
Yeah.
So, that's got to be pretty scary to think about, that while you're trying to do everything the right way on the basketball court in a rivalry, that rivalry also has a very dark side to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's just pretty sad how, it is, how there's, that dark side to the rivalry. I just think it's very sad, and it shouldn't be that way.
Right. All right, we're going to take another break. When we get back with Lukas, we want to look forward a little bit to this season. He mentioned one of his goals was District Player of the Year. Let's talk some more about that district and some of its players when we get back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burke. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
All right, top 5 list time. Top 5 things we
top
do
5
not
things.
know about Lukas Turner. Number 5.
It's probably snowboarding.
Okay, so you're snowboarding? All right. So where do you like to go?
I like, when I was younger, I used to go to Wolf Creek a lot up in
Okay.
Colorado, and then I like going to Santa Fe when I have, not Santa Fe, but Santa Fe when I have the time to.
Okay, all right. What else? Number 4.
It's probably camping.
Yeah, I heard you are quite the outdoorsman, right? So camping, like, are we talking extended, like a week deep in the woods? Or are we talking like overnight camping?
Probably just like 3 days
Okay.
in our camper in Pecos.
Are we talking with electricity or without electricity?
With electricity, yeah.
Okay, so that's semi-camping,
Yeah,
right?
semi-camping. Yeah, it's not
Okay.
real camping
All
unless
right.
you're tenting. Yeah.
All right, but is that a pretty good spot up there in Pecos?
Yeah, we have our own property up there, so we have a pretty good spot.
All right. Number 3.
Playing video games.
All right, what's your go-to on video games?
Probably Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay. Do you play with people on the team, or who do you play with there?
I play with mostly kids on my team.
All right, are you the best on the team? Who's the best on the team?
Probably me on Rainbow, yeah. I'm probably the best Rainbow player.
What else do you play?
I play 2K a lot.
All right, 2K?
And Fortnite.
And Fortnite. Everyone plays Fortnite,
Everyone
right?
plays Fortnite, yeah.
So 2K, you guys get pretty competitive? I've had some guys in here that are like, yeah, we play 2K with other dudes from other teams, and we play for money, and like, so I heard it gets pretty competitive in the basketball community.
Yeah, no, like when you're betting and stuff, yeah, you always want to win. You don't want to lose because it's always like the dude has the one up on you.
So you play just teammates, or you like all? I heard that crosses team bound. Like everyone's playing everyone.
Everyone's just playing everyone on the team, so it just makes it more fun.
What about 2K? Are you the best at 2K also?
Probably top 3. There's probably 2 guys better than me.
All right. Where are we at? Number 2, right? Number 2. Things we don't know about Lukas Turner.
Hunting.
All right, hunting. So that's again with that outdoor theme, right?
Yeah.
What are we talking? What kind of hunting are we talking about?
I like elk hunting. I bow hunt. So.
Okay. I've been turkey hunting. Have you ever gone turkey hunting?
No, I've never been turkey hunting.
That's pretty fun, right? So where do you go? Where do you go to hunt?
We usually go to Rio Doso and the Gila.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, you're hitting some good spots. You got
Yeah.
camping in the Pecos, hunting in Rio Doso. I want to hang out with this guy. All right. Where are we at? Number 1. Number 1 thing we don't know about you
is Jesus.
Okay.
I love Jesus. Yes.
All right.
That's one of my favorite things.
So tell me about that.
Just have to have a strong bond with Jesus. If you just want, I just want to I don't know. I just want to have a strong bond with Jesus my whole life. So.
Keeps you grounded, how important is that in your everyday life and your athletic life?
Everyday life.
Right?
Yes, sir.
How so? Tell us about that.
I try to pray before I eat, when I wake up and before I go to bed.
And then, but even in athletics, right? It's got to keep you grounded for athletics too, right?
Yeah, I pray before my games and just try to keep calm when I'm playing.
Is it that sense of serenity and calmness that, it is important?
Yes, sir, yeah.
All right, that was a very, very good top 5 list. Man, I want to start going outdoor activities with you, man. You hit all the hot spots. Pecos and Rio Doso and the Gila, man.
Yes, sir.
We gotta go turkey hunting, man.
No, we have to, yeah.
That's the way to go. All right, that's a very, very comprehensive list. All right, let's look ahead at the schedule a little bit. This week, you got St. Pius and Clovis coming up. A couple of teams that they don't jump out at you at being super top teams, but they're both solid.
Yeah.
St. Pius is always solid. They got a couple of dudes. Clovis has a lot of length, right? You guys will definitely be the smaller team on the floor that day.
Yes, sir.
So just take us a preview into those 2 games this week.
We just have to go in knowing that it's just another game on the schedule and we just have to work hard.
Right.
And when we play against Clovis, we're probably going to be this more smaller teams at all these 5A teams, so we're probably just going to have to use our speed against them and St. Pius.
Right. And then, right around the corner, the Metro tournament. So that's got to be pretty cool. You get to come down, play in the APS Metro, right?
Yes, sir.
First round matchup? Oh, it's the Cleveland Storm, right? So you get to see your old head coach and a really, really good basketball team right away in the first round. How cool is that?
It's pretty cool because we played them once, so it's going to be a pretty fun game when we play them the second time.
You did mention that you played them once already. You said it was a regular game, which I don't believe that. So I'm going to give you one more chance. There's got to be a little special something about playing your old coach.
Yeah, there's like just a little bit, just like, yeah, you just left us, so you just have to go out there and just play hard against him.
No one's going to think that that's wrong or bad. That's
it's
a human emotion.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you dumped us for this other girl. Like, that's
yeah,
normal.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. Yeah,
right?
Dumped us,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for the pretty girl in Rio Rancho, right? I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can use that as motivation, right?
Yeah, there's a little something there.
And will you guys use that as motivation?
Yeah, we used it the first game. Both games going into it, yeah, we used it as motivation.
What makes them so tough? Obviously, Daniel's a great guard, right?
Yeah.
But they got other pieces too. What makes them so tough?
They can all shoot the ball good, and they're very good on defense.
Right. Santa Fe has not always been in the Metro tournament, right? So that's kind of cool, you know. Traditionally, this is the time of the year where Santa Fe would be playing who knows who, right? But now you get to come in and you kind of, you know, I think the girls did it. The girls did it on the Hobbs side, right?
Yeah.
They came into this tournament and took Albuquerque's trophy all the way back to Hobbs. How cool would it be to take that giant APS Albuquerque trophy back out of the district to Santa Fe? You get to keep it for a whole year.
It would be pretty cool because it's our second year in this tournament, so I think if me and the guys win the tournament, it would be very special to us too. So,
and you, I mean, obviously with your time at the Spotlight team, right? You know all these dudes in Albuquerque too, right? So it's not like you're just this stranger from Santa Fe coming in, right?
These are all my boys, yeah.
But you do play with all these guys, but it would be a little special to come into their own yard and beat them, right?
Yeah, I think that would be pretty special if my team came up here and we just compete against these 5A teams. So I think that would be pretty special.
All right, one of the goals you talked about was in the district, right? So let's do a little, since district play will be shortly after we go on this with this program. Las Lunas, obviously the team a lot of people talk about because Jalen Holland, right?
Yeah.
So talk about, you know, how tough is that? And we were talking earlier about you're kind of holding your own against them a little bit defensively, but what makes him so tough? What makes them so tough?
What makes Las Lunas tough is that they're all very good, like on defense, they're all, what's the word?
Well, I know they're physical.
Yeah,
Coach
they're physical.
Julian loves them to be physical.
I forgot what word I was going to say, but they're just good on defense, and Jalen, he's just could shoot crazy out the gym, and he's just athletic, so.
Yeah, what makes him like hard to guard, other than the just natural gifts?
Probably his speed, I would say. I'd say he's physical and uses his speed a lot, so.
Capital's the rivalry. We talked about that, right?
Yes, sir.
The other teams, Rio Grande, you just never know what you're going to get out of Rio Grande. Like they still got those two big dudes.
Yeah, anything can happen against them like last year, yeah.
Albuquerque High's a little better this year, right?
Yeah, no, they've been doing good, so it's going to be a good district.
And then Manzano's got a couple of dudes that, you know, if you don't show up, they can hurt you, right?
Yeah.
But you did say goal was to be district player of the year. So you know to be district player of the year, those two games against Las Lunas.
Yeah, we have to win.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to win, and you're going to have to kind of go off in those games,
yeah,
right?
against those guys, yeah.
I love that you're up for that challenge, man.
Yes, sir,
I can't wait for those two games. I can't wait to watch you throughout the season. We're a big fan of yours here at Local Focus. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching, everyone. Good night.